Good Morning CYBERTRON is a podcast intended for adults and is not suitable for those under the age of 18. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi, it's James Roberts here from IDW, and you're listening to Good Morning Cybertron because you've got too much time on your hands.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, Cybertron!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Good Morning Cybertron. I am your host, Scott. I haven't been smoking anything, and I am willing to take the blood test to prove it. With me today, all the way from the south, it's Kyle. It's Kyle.
Hello.
There it is. From more south, it's Walter.
Howdy, fuckos.
And from the west, it's Xavier.
I haven't been smoking either, but I want all the smoke. Give me all the fucking drama you got.
Wolf1701 says, "Good morning, sinners. What are we offended by today?" And Dewanis Perez says, "Back at it again with the multiple devices on the watch." What are we offended about today, guys?
Premarital sex.
Flat earthers.
Let's say phallic-shaped carrots.
Okay, that's good. What about you, Kyle? What are you offended by today? Wow, there is a huge delay in what Kyle's hearing from us. Brendan Callanan says...
Too much to think about it.
Oh, jeez. Oh, shit, and from the north, it's Thomas.
No.
Hey, Thomas, what are you offended by today?
The housing crisis.
That's a good one. I'm offended.
Why? Was there a discussion about something like that I missed?
Oh, no. Wolf was just wondering what us sinners were offended by today. Brendan Callanan, though, says, "What's up, gangsters that live in my phone? It is so spacey in here. It must be an apple." And Wolf1701 says, "Shit, Kyle's masturbating on camera." Crossbones Koopa says, "We had so much time left the first time in the world, my Walkman and me. Cry." And Technical Jim says, "Just knocked over my Haslab Deathsaurus a few minutes ago." Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm currently going through some drama with my Haslab Deathsaurus. It was supposed to be delivered today. It's not. Brandon Cowden says, "I'm offended I don't have a Studio Series Mohawk yet. Need my bay fix." Dwayne Marsh says, "I've made it. Good morning, y'all. It's morning someplace, bitches. It's morning someplace." Mm-hmm. Oh,
Did the show
my
just
God.
Start?
Show just started, man. Yeah, show just started.
Well,
Really?
you got somewhere you need to be right now?
Well, I thought that my computer woes were going to make me extremely late because my computer was basically acting like a senile old creature. Like,
No.
Was it
what
holding
was
up
that
the
you
gate
wanted
and
me to
shaking
do?
its sadistic clouds?
Open the chromes.
Open the all the Chrome.
Listen here, Sonny. Back in my day, we just had the one single Chrome. And now you fuckers sitting around with your multiple Chromes and your Googles and your Facebooks and your Metas. And Facebook and Meta is the same thing. I don't get that.
Have you ever, in the past, accidentally opened Internet Explorer and then Internet Explorer is like, "At last, after 15 years, I am free."
Yeah.
I
have.
My old, back in the day, mid-90s Macintosh computer desktop, the Lisa, would update on its own AOL, and AOL took fucking all of the memory on the computer for tiles.
Oh, yes.
were the backgrounds on AOL websites.
Fucking
Oh
hell.
my god.
Fucking hell. But the two horrible companies, AOL and Apple, as far as I'm concerned.
Apple Tech is like alien technology. Every time I try to pick it up and use it, I have no, like, I am not technologically illiterate, but whenever I pick up an iPhone or a Mac computer, I'm like, what even is this?
Apple
Like,
sucks.
right?
So I use an Apple at work. I use a PC at home, and I'm here to tell you, Apple sucks. But I don't get why Apple fanboys are fucking cult leaders, man. They will like if somebody goes, your PC sucks, Scott. Okay, fine. You know, it might suck for you, but it doesn't suck for me. It's perfect for what I use it for. But if you go, I don't like
tech.
Yeah, I don't like your Apple, and it's like you walked up to him and went, I think Jesus might have been gay. You know, and I mean, it's fucking nuts. They go fucking nuts.
Like he did just hang around with a lot of dudes.
I mean,
always a sausage fest with
the
that one.
proof was there. I mean, it was just like saying, I think Jesus probably had a band and he sucked a lot of dick. And it's Jesus Christ. Jesus.
Hey, Apple
Christ.
fanboys! If my Samsung here ever breaks, I can repair it myself.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have done things like that before. I was like with my last
Rocks.
one. It appears the
Gideon knife.
I remember that the was it the component that allows for screen rotation was busted. So I remember that.
Yeah. Getting back to Transformers somewhat, do want to say a huge rest in peace to Pauline Newstone. She was the voice of Beast Wars Air Razor. She has sadly passed away and will be missed. Will be missed. Air Razor was like one of those that she was quickly one of my big faves in Beast Wars.
She was underutilized in Beast Wars. I don't
Absolutely.
feel like she should have gotten used more.
Absolutely.
I feel like she needed a spotlight episode other than her introduction.
You're right. Yes.
She was one of the rare occasions where they had a good flyer unit. Like she was able to do the reconnaissance thing real well. Yeah. And bonus point, she kind of sounded like Frieza, so that was cool. But
there was probably a reason for that.
Yeah. And in her cameo episode, it was demonstrated she was able to quickly outgun Pterosaur. And Pterosaur is not under, you know, he doesn't have low firepower. He's got all kinds of weapons.
Yeah.
And she was able to just blow him apart.
Well, it just sucks that she made it
solid pegging.
Yeah, she made it a season, and then they were like, "All right, we'll be nice and bring her back for the season finale." Haha. Now she's kibble. She's good for your scrap building projects. Have fun with that, nerds.
Yeah, it was.
And apparently Miss Newstone herself was a bit of a fucking cryptid because she only went to like one TFCon and one BotCon and specifically requested that no photos be taken. There's like one publicity photo of her from like the Ocean Group archives. And whenever people were scrambling to like, you know, announce that she was, you know, found dead, they were scrambling for photos and found photos of the other U.S. voice actress for Frieza.
Well, she seems to have a lot in common with Steve Ditko.
Yeah.
So my Deathsaurus order is still saying unfulfilled.
Yeah, mine too.
What?
Mine too.
And you're in America, and people appear to be getting them there.
Yeah, I was supposed to get mine today. I didn't.
So you're just like, oh, this is America.
Let's take a slight tangent here to talk about how Scott has to receive his package, because Scott can't send it to his house. He has to send it to a separate business, which is also a mail drop off.
I'm a very busy white boy. So it's a thing where in the morning, especially like Wednesdays and Thursdays, I'm super busy. So in the morning, I go to work. I leave at 2. Well, I leave here at 7 a.m. I go to my wife's job. I drop her off at work. I kiss her goodbye. I love her so much. And then I drive to the other end of town to my job, which is like a 20-minute drive. So it's like 20 minutes to my wife, 20 minutes to my job. I get to my job at 8 o'clock. I work until 2 so that I can pick up my wife whenever her job ends at 2:30. We go back to the house. I chill for an hour. 1 hour. And then I go to teach my drum lessons. She sleeps before her classes. I come back here. I do the podcast almost immediately. So, and Thursday's pretty much the same minus the podcast. So I know the chances of me being home whenever this is delivered are pretty slim. And this is one of those packages I'm going to have to sign my name for. So I found out I can have FedEx drop this off at Dollar General. I can have FedEx drop this off at Dollar General right beside where I work in the morning. This is perfect. And even if I'm home, it's like a 10-minute, 15-minute drive, right? So, okay, good. I set it up that they're going to drop it off at Dollar General. They hold it. I sign for it there. I take it. Everything's hunky-dory, beautiful, lovely, right? I get a thing that said, it's going to be Wednesday. I said, holy shit, a day early. Fantastic. I wait all day. They said they'll text me whenever it arrives. Never got a text. Never arrived. Tracking says, pending.
It's in the wind.
Pending.
The winds of change. Or Officer Sliz is still fucking with you, and that joke of ours went sentient.
No, it's because FedEx knows they fucking crashed into my fucking car. That's why.
Sliz also works for FedEx.
God damn it. God damn it. But rest in peace. Rest in peace, Pauline. Would have loved to have been more familiar with more of your work. Unfortunately, I'll be honest, I wasn't too much. Pauline Newstone, rest in peace.
Yeah. I mean, she killed it as Air Razor, she killed it as Frieza, and unfortunately, she didn't want anyone to know about her. So, fucking, okay, weird.
Yeah, and that's totally fine. Totally fine. This lovely, lovely podcast that you are just being ear-sexed by. We like to say we're brought to you by, but we're not really. SirToys.com. Oh, but you're saying Sir Toys doesn't exist anymore. In a weird way, it does. Look right there. Sir Toys. It's on toy.run. It's like Twitter, except it's not run by a man trying to take over the world with battery-powered robot cars. Alon's the devil. Alon is the devil. But get over here.
You use his proper term, Space Karen.
Alon is Astro Satan.
So okay, now let me get this right. Okay, so Bezos is real life Lex Luthor, and the guy that owns Facebook is a lizard man.
Yes.
Yep.
Or an android or something.
Android.
Android lizard man. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah,
keep
and
up.
who is and what is Musk exactly?
He is Astro Satan. Elon Musk is Astro Satan.
Tony Stark has never had the shrapnel.
Jesus Christ, man. I mean, hold on here. Elon Musk Antichrist. Watch this, man. Images. This is the way he came out dressed for Halloween.
He looks
Not
like a
gonna
Mortal
lie, I
Kombat
actually
character.
kind of like that.
I mean, it would look good on you.
But can't you just imagine a guy in that outfit, repeating an animation in Mortal Kombat 2?
Because he dressed as.
Yeah, just like a breathing animation.
Yeah, the idle animation of here, hold this ninja pose.
Yeah, basically, you could totally imagine a dude in Mortal Kombat 2 or 3 in an idle animation with that costume.
Elon Musk is ultimate proof that power corrupts. Because,
you know what? if he actually made it into Mortal Kombat, he already has the K in his name. He would just have to do the thing they did with Boone and Tobias when they made Noob Saibot and spell Musk backwards, so he becomes K-Sum.
K-Sum Nilo.
I think if he was a Mortal Kombat character, his name would just be X.
Oh, he would love that.
I'm edgy. I'm edgy.
But it wouldn't be the letter X. It would be a K and a backwards K slapped together to make the X like symbol.
Oh my god!
And then like his fatality would be like he'd like run you over with a Cybertruck, or have you drive a Cybertruck and crash into something while driving it.
No,
Or
he'd have
crash his SpaceX rocket into you.
he would throw you into the Cybertruck and watch this dude will splatter against the Cybertruck and no damage, and then the Cybertruck bends like a cartoon whip.
I say drive the Cybertruck because apparently, if you get into a collision while driving one of those, it's not terribly safe for the driver.
Or the second fatality, he tries to throw you against the Cybertruck, but the online piloting computer system for a Tesla interrupts the fatality and runs you over before you can even hit the truck.
No.
I saw
his fatality is that he launches a SpaceX rocket, and then once it hits orbit, the rocket drops a Cybertruck like the opening of Heavy Metal.
I saw a fantastic commercial for a car. It was laid out like this teen slasher, right? And like you see like this dude, and he was in like some sort of I think he was like in a hockey mask, but not really a hockey mask. It was as close to Jason as you can get without being Jason Voorhees, right? So he kills this guy, and he's running after this girl, and this girl's screaming, and like she finally gets to her car, and she jumps in, and she goes, "It's time to die, you son of a bitch." She puts the car in drive, and she just fucking floors it, and the car goes screaming towards Jason, and then it stops, and she's just here going, "What the fuck? Why?" And like Jason's coming for her, and then at the top it says, "It's collision avoidance sensors, now standard on." Anyway.
And the slasher goes, "Thanks, Elon," and then beheads the teenager.
Yeah. Anyway, there's some really neat stuff up at Toy.Run. We've got this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Transformer that Paul from Sir Toys put up. It's like a little mech pilot. We've got just tons and tons of stuff. Sir Toys talking about how he went to a toy show. Just, it's fantastic. The Grimlock gun triple changer, which, by God, I wish I had the money for it. I can't spend $80 for.
I saw the video for that. That thing's fucking gigantic.
It is. It's $80 for a
actual anti-material rifle.
It's $80 for a full-size sniper rifle that might not make it through customs.
There's another one that looks really similar to this, and it turns into an actual sort of minigun thing that shoots foam projectiles.
Yeah.
And it has like a belt. It has like a belt that feeds it, and it's nuts. But the thing is, the figure is massive. It's like Titan class.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there are 2 color versions of it. I think you can get it on Show Z.
An anti-material rifle? Oh no, I'm made of materials.
I'm made of what that stuff is.
So, let's get to this week's stuff, man. We got images of so much awesome stuff. We have Titan class tidal wave. We weren't supposed to get these until the 9th. We got them early. And Titan class tidal wave, he's a big, big boy.
Big lad.
He's a huge mofo.
Have you noticed that they've been, it sounds like, or it looks like they've been very slowly listening to the criticisms about turrets on Titan class figures? Because initially when we got the Ark, they were like, what the heck is this crap? These like molded things that don't move and they like have no swivel or any kind of articulation. And then on the Nemesis, they're still tiny, but they're like, oh yeah, they can kind of swivel. That's okay. And now they're just like, they seem to have complete motion now.
Yep. Yep, the turrets have complete motion. They tacked on a base mode. He has his combined boat mode. He
Bullshit.
split into the 3 individuals. Doesn't have his minicon anymore, but he has a miniature version of himself that can be deployed to combine with Megatron.
Is it just the one piece, or are there other parts of the mini one?
Basically, hell, I don't have a picture of the combined stuff. Basically, he deploys like 3 smaller boats from inside of him that are like miniature versions of his 3 individual boats that then combine with Megatron.
That's okay. You know what? I'm finding this a little weird. Maybe people will disagree with me, but this base mode is far better than what we got with Fort Max. This is actually kind of like it actually kind of looks like something.
The turrets and then the Megatron combination components becoming like little workstations really help with it, I noticed.
Yeah, it's just
liking that.
It actually, like, I mean, the feet are forming kind of ramps. It actually kind of has some kind of semblance to a building. It's not just. I mean, if you really look hard, yeah, it still is. But I mean, like with Fort Max, it was just
doing a yoga pose.
Yeah, but it's trying harder.
Yeah,
I think that, and that's good. It's fine. I appreciate this.
In the picture I've got up right now of the base mode, you can see like the middle portion that forms like the battleship is like forming a tower, and then one of like the aircraft carrier halves is forming another tower in the back.
Yeah.
Trey Tripticone.
Like it's sad that he doesn't have the minicon anymore, but we've had 4 Armada characters now, and none of them have their minicons except for Jolt. And even then, that was a separate release, but whatever.
At this
point, I'm just waiting for like a core class Ramjet to show up on his own later.
Maybe, but this is the one time I've kind of felt like I was definitely expecting it, because I mean, we've had Titans that came with Micromasters before.
We have, but we've also like not had that since Metroplex and Nemesis.
I mean, a lot of times their partners come later on.
Yeah.
You know, because
waiting on that drill bit, Hasbro.
Well, you know, we got 6 Gun, and we got Slammer for Metroplex. Slammer took a while. Slammer took a while to get.
He did.
But we still ended up getting him. We got Brunt for Tripticon, and that's why I said very Trey Tripticone, because that central tower looks very much like Brunt's cannon sticking straight up. And
it does.
Yeah. So very Tripticon-esque, especially with like those bays out there. So we got Brunt for Tripticon, we got Fast Track for Scorponok, Black Rorichi for
Black
Zarek, you know, and we even got Countdown for Omega Supreme. Countdown came with him. But, you know, Omega Supreme didn't really have a little partner that came with him. We got a ton of stuff.
Still waiting on a Scorpulator for Devastator.
Yeah. Keep waiting, baby. Ooh. Keep waiting. No one likes to admit Action Masters were a thing until it suits them. Oh, Jazz kind of looks like Kickoff. Let's go ahead and make a Kickoff. Because we can get another $25. That's how we're going to make it. We're going to make it $25 at a time. But it wasn't just a tidal wave that we got. We also saw the first Transformer to ever be seen on a cartoon, Cybertronian Wheeljack. Holy shit. And if you look at the back of the package, the Cybertronian Bumblebee fits inside of him.
Yep.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And apparently, He even has shields that you can cover him with.
He's got a blast shield that can wrap around the cab of his alt mode. He's got the little lawn sprinkler things that you can clip onto the front to make fire go away. He's got clips on him that let him hold the fuel rods that came with Bumblebee.
So hope you held on to those all these years.
They're in one of my Prime trailers somewhere.
My masterpiece Wheeljack, the cartoon colors version of him, is holding them for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he like Scott said, you could stash Origin Bumblebee up.
Yeah, I can finally pull the trigger and buy that Cybertronian Bumblebee.
I'd just go to Ross's. People are seeing him there. Get him for a few buckaroos.
He's all right. I like him.
He is.
Yeah, he's a very competent little, not flying spaceship.
Yeah, yeah, he's good. He's good. He's very, very good. Let's go over here to the. God damn, we fell behind. I'm still getting over being sick, so forgive the coughing. So we have Brennan Callanan says the Apple Store is a cultist store. At least cults can sometimes change their mind and their dogma. That's it's zombies over there, man. Duaz Perez says I was forced against my will to learn how to use Apple. My therapist told me I wasn't allowed to talk about it anymore. Yeah, absolutely understood. Crossbones Koopa says, holy shit, Kingdom Galvatron is good. He is free from his box prison to smack around Scourge and Cyclonus. Side note, my laptop is way outdated, and look at the magic I'm doing. Wolf1701 says, outdated magic. Crossbones Koopa back down with the 80s style, VHS style magic, Wolf. And Wolf1701 goes, fix the damn tracking. And then he goes, Scott, it's another Leo Prime. You'll never see it. Crossbones Koopa goes, Crossbones need not fix tracking. The world needs to fix its tracking around me. Wow! God damn. Technical Jim.
Easy there, Rorschach.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, man. I forgot to mention that my medic's arm just came off due to a messed up pin a few days ago. Technical Jim, I'm sorry. That sucks. Wolf1701 says tint, contrast, beta is better. Crossbones Koopa, if you have earbuds, it's better ear sex. Gigatwin says, don't worry, the FedEx guy is just at the casino to help cover the costs of the company, as is tradition for FedEx. Wolf1701, Alon will save us all, and you from yourselves. Don't need it. Gigatwin says, Elon Musk is just that one Simpsons character named Scorpio who was Homer's boss after he took a job transfer. You can't change my mind on this. Crossbones Koopa, I was in space looking for GMC. Ask Xavier if you can do it, so can you. Gigatwin says, yes, Elon's Mortal Kombat fatality is just him pulling out a Dio, but instead of dropping a road roller, he drops a Tesla truck. Wolf1701, I also deploy mini versions of me. It's called Children. Ooh. Ew. Do you pass them through your urethra and they just come out, Father, where's my legs, Father? Wolf1701, it took years to get 6-gun. I'd lost all hope. We got Cybertron Wheeljack. It's a trumpet of the apocalypse. Crossbone Koopa, I need this Wheeljack. He will fit Goldbug inside him. Wait, that sounded wrong. Giga Twin said, no, the trumpet of the apocalypse would be going a whole Transformers line without getting Optimus or Bumblebee. Dwayne Marsh says,
combiners.
Yeah. Dwayne Marsh says, I want to get that Wheeljack. Wolf1701, no, it's all right. Don't be afraid. Wolf1701, hey, let's all get this Wheeljack. Yes, let's all get this Wheeljack. We got box art of Tidal Wave, and I was really excited for the box art. We got these beautiful images. We got some size comparisons, how he's going to stack up against other Titans. So as we go through this, we see that he's not going to be quite as tall as the Dommy Mommy, and that is official. It was said on a stream the other day. It's not going to be as tall as the Dommy Mommy, but it's going to be a little bit bulkier. It's going to be just about the same height as the Ark, but where it really shines, where Tidal Wave really shines, is his boat mode. We're going to need a bigger boat. We've got a bigger boat. He will be longer than the Nemesis or the Ark.
So it looks like he has more. It looks like he's gonna have perhaps more mass.
Yeah,
I would hope so, because he was the biggest thing for 2002 at the time. Like, you could not do any better than Tidal Wave, and that was a $20 fig. And
Yeah.
then, if you were lucky enough, you got 2 Tidal Waves in Energon and Armada colors.
I got my Tidal Wave for $12 at Ollie's. So
Apparently, if you have Galaxy Force Prime, like Galaxy Convoy, his arms are compatible with the pegs that are on him that are intended for Liger Jack.
Yep.
Leo Breaker.
Yeah, but it's funnier with Armada Megatron.
Just like you could just like put Tidal Wave's arms on Galaxy Convoy and give him carrier arms. That's so weird.
He has a funky ass like Scorponok base mode now. I don't know if I like.
Or at least that's what I remember seeing. I should check. I'm pretty sure that's true.
Wolf1701 is just reading my fucking mind. He says, zoom in on box. Tint, contrast. Who's hidden in the box art? And my mind is, I can't make out these fuckers on the box art. I have no idea who they are. They seem to be just generics. Who's by the feet? I don't see anyone in the feet. We got this dude standing on either the shore or his leg. I mean, it almost seems like they might be Combaticons.
Yeah, I mean, it's good enough detail when you go, this fucker's so big, you can't even make out the secondary characters. That's what I like to see.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's too big. That's Godzilla -1 size.
The reason I can't get Combaticons out of my head is I look at this guy over here, the one that's kind of flying, and I just see blast-off collars.
Yeah, you're right. I do. I recognize it.
But
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I don't know who this dude is. This dude looks like Cheetor. I have no idea who this blue and white fucker can be. I don't know.
He's got a wheel on the inside of his leg.
Yeah, I don't know who this dude is. Fuck.
Looks like he's got something on his shoulder.
Yeah, I don't know. The box art is fucking great. Oh, wait! There's 2 dudes drowning down here. Wait! Holy shit, is that Emirate Zayron drowning?
I don't know.
Enhance.
He's got purple hands. He's got purple hands.
Look at the crest. Look at the head crest right there. That looks like Emirate Zayron's head crest.
Maybe. It's pretty pixelated, but maybe. What about the other one? The other guy looks like he's got an orange face and a yellow helmet and a sort of gray body and...
Man, you mean the dude right beside of him?
Yeah, what's this guy?
I was honestly thinking that was Bulkhead.
Because he's yellow and he's got an orange face from what I can see.
Giga Twin says, fun fact, Tidal Wave's connection ports for his arms are the same connection ports that were used for Combiner Wars. You can, in fact, put Combiner Wars aerial bots on Armada Tidal Wave.
What?
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm curious, though. Would this mold see action as a crossover fig? Like, if this was promoted as a different character for a movie?
Yeah. Technical Jim asks, are we positive these aren't just minicons? I mean, that's a possibility, too.
Yeah, so I was just remembering that thing with Cybertron Prime. Yeah, apparently you can put Leo Breaker / Liger Jack onto Tidal Wave. That's weird.
Yep.
I'm looking for secrets in the water. I'm a pirate. I'm smoking that seaweed, giving me Vitruvian man flexibility. Let's see here. I don't see anything. I mean, they could be just fucking minicons. I don't know.
Maybe. Oh, I can think of a bunch of Micromasters that have colors like these.
I mean I'm colorblind, so it's really hard to fucking tell.
That's much speculation to be had.
Could this be Swindle swimming out to save this dude?
I don't know. The colors remind me of a number of Micromasters, though.
Man. Now remember, he's heavily armored, but his weak spot is his face.
Yep.
Like most people.
Yeah.
like most organisms.
Bullets.
Most
Or
organisms do not like being shot in the face.
Yeah, that is true.
Sort of like it's sort of like a vampire. The only way to kill a vampire is by stabbing it through the heart. Oh, you mean like that's fatal to like everything?
Technically, it's not fatal to the vampire. It just kind of stops his heart. And when you pull it out, it starts beating again.
Yeah,
That
you know because when
if you
you
stab a regular human in the
puncture
heart,
the-
Literally to just nail him into the coffin so he can't move anymore.
oh,
I thought it was because once you puncture the vampire with the stake, that allows sunlight in, and that is what kills him.
What the fuck is this? Doctor Who. My wife just sent me this image. Doctor Who companions plus rating Area 51.
are they doing the Naruto run?
Well, okay, so Captain Jack and Amy Pond and Claire and Billy, they're in the spot of they can't stop all of us, and Rory and the doctor, the one doctor that was with the doctor, the black chick, and some Indian chick I don't know. Please don't go. They absolutely can stop all of us. The black guy that was with 10 says if we Naruto run, we can dodge the bullets. Donna Noble says, have fun dying, lol. The lady doctor's companion actually goes, and the Rose and River song gets in.
This is taken from the Internet Historian, isn't it?
Wolf. No, I have no idea who that's from. It's just something my wife sent me. It may be. Wolf 1701 says, Scott, why would Swindle save anyone? If they had Swindle's wallet, maybe that's the thing. They all split up Swindle's money and keep 1/4 of it on them, so that he doesn't. You get this back after the mission's complete.
You think Swindle's ultimate form wouldn't be a Jeep, but like cash cab?
Man, I just if I could put my dream team together, Fred Willard was the best Swindle, and I say that as someone who dislikes animated. Fred Willard was the best Swindle, but I think if I could choose anyone, Andrew Tate as Swindle. But I don't.
Okay.
But I don't like giving him money, so there is that.
Well, that sounds legit though, because I don't think anybody likes giving Swindle money either.
Yeah. That would carry over. You'd get the feel of it.
I feel like Fred Willard could headlock Andrew Tate real easily.
Fuck, Fred Willard would have fucking cleaned Andrew Tate's clock and fucking punched him so hard he went blind. And like, if you can't touch Fred Willard. There was the show. It was okay, but it was like in the middle of COVID and it got overshadowed by a lot of stuff. It was Space Force.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was the guy from The Office. What the fuck is the main character's name?
Steve Carell.
Steve Carell. He played a military guy, and John Malkovich was in it. Fantastic actor. They played military guys who actually were the head of this newly created Space Force, right? And the whole thing is like the head of the Space Force, Steve Carell's character, his wife's in prison for some unknown reason. His daughter is just kind of like trying to adjust to life without her mother. And then he has to move to Nevada to be in the Space Force, but he has to leave his parents, his elderly parents, back in New Jersey. And he keeps spying on them using spy satellites because his father is just fucking hilariously riddled with Alzheimer's. And Fred Willard played his dad. And it was fantastic. Steve, it's your dad. I think your mom died again. And you just hear his mom's, no, she's alive. Okay, I'm going to go fuck her now.
What?
was great. It was great.
I think the Congress scenes in that series were the best ones, where it's just
Oh,
you know, Space Force is necessary here on God's green flat Earth.
I argued with a flat earther today. I didn't mean to. I did not mean to.
Yeah.
All I wanted to do, I got out of doing the drum lessons, and I just wanted to pay my studio rent and go home, right? But there was a guy there that sits there, Jerry, and it was just like, I go, hey, Jerry, what conspiracy theories are you getting into this week? Just the same old stuff. And then the owner of the store goes, Jerry's a flat earther. Oh, okay. And he goes, Jerry looks at me and goes, well, what do you think about that? I said, the Earth's a sphere, no doubt. You're wrong. I said, but you know what? Go ahead, hit me. I'm willing to have my mind changed. And he goes, okay. There was a lady who back in the early 1900s put a blimp up in the air in London and figured if the Earth is spinning, then I should be able to get to New York. Now tell me, why whenever she came down was she still in London? It's because the Earth is flat. And I went, because the blimp is tethered by gravity. It's floating above the land. It's still subject to the laws of gravity. It's not
Also,
in space.
An atmosphere is not separate from the planet. It is part of the planet.
Right. And well, then how can birds and flies? Well, okay, so flies and bumblebees, they're at their size, they're less dense. So for them to move through the air, for them it feels like going through maple syrup because of their small size. They can float around as much as you want. And birds are able to fly because they have fucking hollow bones and their wings are curved, meaning the air flies over them. No. It's like, man, I let you talk. Why can't you let me talk? I let you talk. And it's just like, well, why is it? I said, okay. He goes through this whole thing, and I said, let me ask you something. The planets. He goes, there are no such things as planets. And I said, but I've seen planets. I've looked out with a telescope, and I've seen Jupiter. I've seen the Great Red Spot. I've seen Mars. I've seen Venus, and because we're in front of it, then what are they? And the guy is just like, he couldn't answer. Well, I don't know what they are, but I said, well, why is every other planet that we've observed in this entire universe, why is it a sphere? And we're the only disk. What's on the bottom of the disk?
Turtles.
Turtles all the way down.
Turtles.
Yeah,
Just infinite stack of turtles.
Just one turtle. That's a lot. The thing that gets me, and I didn't get to say this to him. Let's say they have been lying to us, and the Earth is flat. Let's just say, why? What do they have to gain from the Earth being
three
flat?
elephants on top of a turtle.
You know what's interesting about this
We have to
is
keep the elephants safe.
Quite often, the math that they use for a model of the flat Earth, it is a map that you've seen it before. It's called the azimuthal equidistant projection. That's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And they think that is an accurate depiction of how the world actually is. And they think that Antarctica is a ice wall that surrounds the world. Here's the problem with that. The actual diameter, or rather perimeter, of Antarctica is smaller than the equator. That means that its physical dimensions as a flat plane are impossible.
It's a Mercator projection. That's why like you look at Iceland and Greenland, they're fucking huge. They're not that huge. They're just anyway.
If you go to the same latitude in the northern hemisphere and in the southern hemisphere, and you measure the distance longitudinally, they will be the same distance, but they will both be smaller numbers than at the equator. That's not possible on a flat surface.
We need to keep the elephants that are holding up the turtles
agree
safe.
with you. I have to agree with you on that, but at the same time, hearing all those numbers just makes me irrationally angry. I fucking hate math.
Oh, here we go. Wolf 1701 says, "What do they have to gain? For starters, their wage slaves don't run off the edge of freedom." No. We can't run off the edge of freedom because he said, and I quote, "God put a dome over us."
That's another thing too.
It's called the firmament. Get it
the
right.
firmament thing. It's similar to what I've seen. It's similar to what I've said about evolution. People say, "Oh, evolution is nonsense." If it's nonsense, then why is it measurable?
Listen, I got a message.
And
the moon.
And also with the firmament, if the firmament is real, then why isn't it measurable? Why
Who
isn't
cleans
it detectable? If it was a real thing, you would be able to bounce radar pulses off of it and then find out how far away it is.
Here's the thing. I'm going to say this right now. We need to make abortions just so easy to get. Because if these flat earthers find each other, they're going to end up fucking. They're going to have kids. And the kids of these flat earthers are going to be a goddamn Avengers level threat. You mark my word.
I don't think they could, because they would have to believe something is round first. It's like, oh, I got your eggs pregnant. You don't have eggs. You have discs.
Yeah, flat.
What you may actually be noticing is one of the negative effects of civilization, because the better we have it, the more likely people who wouldn't have survived before make it to adulthood.
It's like the beginning of Idiocracy all over again.
Yes.
Hands off my junk.
Yeah. Well, thanks to the miracles of modern medical science, we've been able to reattach Cleavon's testicles. Get your hands off my junk!
Oh my God.
Yeah. The family tree branches 30 more generations.
The main repudiation that I have for flat earthers is, if the world was a flat disc and there was an edge where people could fall off and shit, why isn't there someone posted up at the edge selling tickets to look at it?
That's where all the missing 411 people go. Off the edge of the flat earth.
That also leads to a really...
where are the edge of the world bed and breakfast things? You know,
that leads to a really, really interesting assumption that flat earthers have, and they seem to think that down is universal across all reference frames. That means no matter where you are in the universe, down is the same direction, and that's weird.
That is weird. Going over to the comments here, Gigatwin says, "The atmosphere is like soup. It's going to pull you." Wolf 1701, "Flies and bumblebees are far less dense than flat earther guys." Crossbones Koopa, "On the bottom of the flat earth is me." Dewanis Perez, "There's a galaxy with a donut-shaped planet. There's also a galaxy with different laws of physics." One of my favorite things, Dewanis, I'm gonna bring it up here since I'm sharing the screen. There is a object called Hoag's Object. And Hoag's Object is... Oh, I misspelled it. Hoag's Object is absolutely fascinating. So this is Hoag's Object, right? There we go. We'll bring it in. Hoag's Object is this weird galaxy that we don't see. It's like a galaxy and then this ring of nothing and then a central point to it. There is no place in the universe that we have found another Hoag's Object except for, get ready for this, right behind Hoag's Object. There's another Hoag's Object.
Another one.
Yeah.
So, wait a minute. Okay, what's at the center of this?
Probably the same things that's at the center of every galaxy. Probably a supermassive black hole.
And it's emanating light.
You got me, man. You got me. This might be everything that's pulling in around it.
So this is composed of galaxies?
Okay.
Scott, I don't know how to take this in other than Rule 34 art. Do you have Rule 34 art?
This is Space Goatsy. Here we go. Hoag's Object is an unusual ring galaxy in the constellation of Serpens Caput. It is named after Arthur Hogue, who discovered it in 1950 and identified it as either a planetary nebula or a peculiar galaxy. It has 8 billion stars, 120,000 light years across.
When I first saw it, that's what I thought it was, as a planetary nebula, but you told me that it was galaxy size, so that kind of messed it up.
No, it's a ring galaxy. Hogue's object is an unusual ring galaxy
that looks like a planetary nebula. Weird.
Yeah. And like I said, there's no other one like it in the universe except for right behind it. Except for right behind it. And there is theories that what we're seeing back here is actually this Hogue's object, but we're at a spot where the universe laps over on itself.
Well, my initial thoughts about that is that if you're saying that the thing in the center is in fact a black hole, what you're actually looking at behind it is actually being affected by gravitational lensing.
Yeah.
And that's not really what it looks like.
Wolf1701 makes a good point. I'm not complaining. But do you remember when we used to talk about Transformers on this show? We go everywhere on this show, Wolf. We go everywhere. Brendan Callanan says, the edge of the Earth is where Buzzworthy Hound and Hatchet are. Giga Twin says, it's not a black hole. That's just the aftermath of Captain Falcon putting his back into the right fist. So anyway, getting back to Transformers instead of all this.
Yeah.
Year of the Dragon Crimson Flame. We finally got better pictures.
Oh, this guy.
And I like the slightly racist head.
He kind of looks a little bit like Tamerlane for some reason.
Justin Timberlake?
Timor the Lame. Like, he's got a kind of vaguely like step horse people helmet thing going on. I don't know.
I don't know who that is. I'll trust you. I'll trust you. The rest of us have to get pussy someplace. So
Also, I want to point out the historical significance of his weapon, which is an actual like historical Chinese firearm.
I don't see where it's racist.
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's.
Hang on, let's see if.
What was that, Kyle? Wow, there's such a huge lag. My God, Kyle must be like 27 minutes behind us. He's still talking about Tidal Wave.
Ooh.
Let's see why. Walter's looking that up. Brendan Callanan says, I've been listening to y'all since I was a freshman in high school. I'm now 28 years old. Oh, my God.
Oh. Which guy was that?
Am I making any noise at all?
I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Yeah, they came up with they innovated a lot with weapons technology, those guys.
Yep.
Yeah. They for a while they actually had a crossbow that was rapid fire.
Yeah, the Hwacha.
Yeah. It's pretty
Actually,
cool.
wait, no, the Hwacha was the rocket powered bow thing.
The one I'm thinking of, actually, it has like a mechanism for
the repeating mechanism. Yeah.
You guys go through the ancient history of Chinese firearms. I'm going to be looking up porn on my phone. Somebody let me know when they're done.
But yeah, Crimson Flame here's got
That
like
was still
a combination
like
like halberd and triple-barreled Chinese gunpowder weapon, and I am absolutely here for it.
That drawing of that gentleman holding that firearm, you can see at the top of his helmet, he's got that like red feather type thing.
Same hat.
Yeah, it's the same kind of hat on the figure. It's the same type of helmet.
Yeah.
That sort of helmet was common in Eastern countries. Like, it seems to have been a thing among a lot of the horse people as well, not just the Chinese. Something quite similar, anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Mongolians usually did with what they could get a hold of, and most of what they could get a hold of was shit they stole from the Chinese.
Yeah, but it wasn't just them. It was like the Huns, I think, had something like that, and just a lot of them. Timor's people, whoever they hell, I can't remember. I can't fucking remember what they were called.
I really want this figure. I think red is a pretty color. I like redecos.
Red is nice. Eee.
It
Blast
is a
effect.
gorgeous figure. I really hope it gets some kind of Western distribution because holy shit, is it going to be a pain in the ass to import? Because remember how fun it was trying to track down those Nezha toys?
You know what? I think we'll be okay. They've been pretty good over at Hasbro Pulse. They've been pretty good. I mean, we got Jaxa Prime. We got Jaxa Prime off Hasbro Pulse. I feel like if
Which
we're
guy
getting,
I don't remember that one.
he was the Moon Rover. He was the Japanese space Moon Rover. Yeah.
Right.
There's a big difference though, because that was the Jaxa Prime and Origin Prime. That's all made for the Japanese audience. There is a big difference between the Japanese audience and the mainland China audience, and that's what this was made for.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have a pretty good shot of this ending up on Pulse. I really do.
I mean, I guess we'll find out in February once Lunar New Year rolls around.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let's see here.
I never got the first version of this mold. I never got. Which one was the one that was like a combiner? It was made of like two figures.
Dragon Storm.
Yeah, that was a leader class out of the last night, and it was made of two guys. Even though the actual Dragon Storm in the movie was like 13 guys that combined into a death metal bramble font dragon.
I saw somebody make somebody made out of that Dragon Storm. I think it was Gigatron from RID. No. It was a silver G1 Megatron and
a Beast Wars Megatron that combined into Transmetal 2 form.
Yeah. That's
I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, that was a kick-ass custom. Yeah. Kyle Lewis says, I'm on the call and can't fucking talk. Fuck my life. Dude, Kyle, are you still here? Hello, Kyle?
Yes, I'm still here. Let's see how long the delay is.
Oh, there we go. You can talk, baby. What you want to say?
Nothing.
God damn it.
Looks cool.
I'm being too loud. Oh, my heavens. We have got in-hand images of Studio Series Leader Class Bumblebee concept art Megatron. It's a mouthful, but it's a gloriously beautiful mouthful. Holy hell. This is like one of those statues come to life.
It looks third party.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Actually, I think Scott had it right on the head there. It looks like one of those like Josh Nizzy, like super expensive statues that like the Saudi oil princes keep buying.
Yeah. Like that giant Optimus with the Seeker wings that you probably don't know anyone who owns.
Oh. Xavier, buddy, what do you think of this bad boy? I know you're going to get 7 of them.
Do I have to? I think I have to.
Yeah, you do. You pick up 3, and I'll pick up 4 for you and mail them to you.
Yeah, it's wow. What happened that they decided to suddenly up their game like this?
Well, I'm surprised that we're seeing so much concept art. You know, make it to the movie. We're getting what concept art Rumble. We're getting this concept art Megatron. There was something else too that we were getting that was.
There was rumors of a Sunstreaker.
That's it. That's what I was thinking. That is what I was thinking. My God, this thing is just
anything to avoid making skids and mudflap. Apparently,
what they're gonna do for the Sunstreaker.
I don't know. God. Okay, so concept art means literally this never existed, which means, you know what? We could pretty much license ourselves to make anything that didn't exist before this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, massage chair Roller. Like, Roller was never in the series. Let's make him a massage chair. You don't know that we didn't plan that. This is a Michael Bay film, for fuck's sake. He could have had that idea.
I will say that's one character. I'm surprised we never got IDW Roller. I am really surprised we never got IDW Roller.
Well, I mean, we technically have a version of him out of that Grand Galvatron Unite Warriors box that they made out of Rook.
Oh yeah.
But
Yes.
Interesting.
You know, pull a Mastermind Creations, dust off that Tarn mold again, and make a roller out of him.
Grand Haunt Galvatron. That was the combiner.
Yeah,
That was a great set.
that was.
That was the one
really
that
was.
made reference to inflatable blueberry Galvatron.
Yeah. This is Unicorn.
Sure it is there, buddy. Sure it is. Oh, I can't wait to get this in hand. This is, I don't know. There's just something about this that screams, this is the movie Megatron we should have gotten.
Metal slug-ass looking tank mode.
Oh my god, yeah. It feels slightly refreshing because it's like, after getting so many versions of the molds of characters that have been on screen, it's just like, the tagline has always been Studio Series is, movie accurate. And then a lot of the figures for a lot of years were just meddling in like mediocrity. And you couldn't even like look at them as like being Studio Series. They were just like basic deluxes that were released in Studio Series line. They were just like iffy, like no, nothing really to distinguish them from another deluxe based on the movie line. But now with like the concept art, it's like, wow, dude.
Yeah.
What a fucking glow up.
Yeah.
I love this version of Megatron and the paint, and it feels like this is actually a proper Studio Series product now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Gorgeous.
jet's fascinating.
Yep.
Looks a lot like
Yeah.
Energon Wingblade.
Yeah.
Wing
And then, of course, there's the obvious
Yeah, it does.
Animated Marauder Megatron.
Very
Gen-
metal sluggish.
Gen Selects. We're going to get a Gen Selects Marauder Megatron out of this.
Ooh.
You watch and see.
That would be a fucking... I mean, that would be very interesting. I'm not going to lie.
That's a prediction. That's not a promise. That's a prediction. That's...
This sort of implied cockpit window in the jet mode just kind of looks like a frowny face, like it's angry. Yeah. It looks
Here
bad.
comes Mr. Angry Eyes.
So
It's bad.
I'm going to go over here to the comments because apparently we missed one from Dewanis. Dewanis actually goes, "Thank you for skipping over my last comment. Love you guys too." Dewanis, we love you too. We just can't be in a relationship with you. Number one. I mean, I don't think we jive together. Number two, like Wolf has it. Wolf's the most manliest person that listens to this podcast or is on this podcast. Look, everybody has two wolves in him, but that's three wolves, man. He is Wolf, and he's got two wolves in him. I can't compete with that. Anyway, Dewanis says,
Question is the 1701 in his name the population of his inner wolves, or is it just in reference to something else?
I bet it's how many wolves he has. So, like, the two standard wolves, and then him as the wolf, and then 1701. So it's actually like 1,704 wolves. We've got no chance. Dewanis says, should have told that flat earther the truth, that it's not flat, but egg-shaped and filled with bees. God damn it.
Bees.
Brendan Callanan is going to witness my death. Excuse me. Brendan Callanan says Crimson Flame sounds like a third-party name. Technical Jim says Crimson Flame is the rip-off of Scarlet Fire song Dank Pods he uses in his videos. Brendan Callanan says makes me want a new version of Steelbane. Don't you mean Scolatron? Kyle Lewis says I'm on the call and can't... Oh, okay. Brendan Callanan says to make a new Dragonstorm definitely would have to be a HasLab project. I'd be the only backer probably.
I'm not so sure about that. I think for Dragonstorm, Hasbro could just take the approach they did with Revenge of the Fallen Devastator and release like 1 or 2 of the knights at a time. Give them some made-up Cybertron nonsense space block mode to fly around in, or maybe give them a couple of them wheels. And then once you've got all 13, combine them into the giant death metal bramble font.
Excuse me.
Oh, yeah, they could be actually like Predacons. Even just skip the space cube altogether. Instead of being Decepticons, they're Predacons that have Cyber Dragon modes, and we know that like those are actually part of the ecosystem of Cybertron.
Brendan Wolf 1701 says that Megatron is fucking epic. Brendan Callanan says, I'm dying for Skids and Mudflap. They're literally all I need from Studio Series to complete the ROTF Autobots. Crossbones says, well, yes, we'll all have to get them. Wolf 1701 says, in reference to how many wolves, it was a transporter accident. And Dewas Perez, Wolf's just my favorite little guy. Dwayne March says, I'd go for a good Dragonstorm. Well, here's Hasbro is cutting 20% of their workforce. That
of a bitch.
I heard about this.
1,100 jobs in addition to the 1,000 jobs cut earlier this year. I have seen
Dungeons and Dragons really do that bad at the box office?
Well, I've seen a lot of people say it's windowless packaging. If you think windowless packaging did this, fuck you. There's no way. There's no way windowless packaging did this.
You're
Fuck
fucking
my
insane.
life.
What is the part of the workforce they're losing though? They're not very specific on that.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of factory workers in the United States.
Pretty much everyone except for the people who are actually responsible for the company losing money, because those executives they get to sit in their fucking boardroom and just collect their fat ass paychecks.
It's sad. This is right before Christmas.
We should just get some cars and go kick ass.
Yeah.
I don't think we should do that.
Yeah. They're the people who are actually making the decisions that are losing this company money. The dipshit who signed the paperwork to buy E1 Entertainment, gut out PJ Masks and Peppa Pig, and then sell the rest of it off at a loss.
I am going to be speaking from a kind of unique point at this, because I have worked both in finance, where I currently am at, and I have worked for a very, very large corporation that dealt with the public. This wasn't just, this was something that a service was provided. So I'm going to tell you this. First off, you really can't throw down, this one person, this group of people is to blame. Honestly, if you're going to throw blame down at anybody for this, then you should probably look at the finance department, because they're the ones. The finance department comes up and looks at all the numbers, crunches them, and go, okay, to do this, we have to throw this many people under the bus. And then, just the executives don't want to ruin their package, so they're going to do whatever the finance company does. And the finance company is going by the same stuff I do to trade stocks. They're looking at the market. They're looking at like what Mattel is doing, and what have you. There are good things that come out of Hasbro, like Hasbro Children's Hospital. There are good people that work at Hasbro, but you can't blame the people that work at Hasbro, because at the end of the day, it is a soulless, unfeeling, uncaring entity. That's exactly what it is. It's a mega corporation. It is
just like Disney.
It is no different than Tesla. It is no different than Apple or Nvidia or what have you.
Disney.
It is a soulless Disney. It is a soulless, unfeeling, uncaring corporation. Now there may
honestly,
be
that's what we like about them.
There may be people. I guarantee there are people in there that care a lot. There are people in there that lost sleep at night trying to save these jobs, especially before Christmas. Especially before Christmas. But the thing is, like, and I see a lot of people blaming Chris Cox. Chris Cox is not the emperor of Hasbro. He is the CEO. He has to appease a lot of fucking people. And shareholders. Once again, shareholders is like they're the fucking end all be all. And look, I'm not saying it's a great thing. I'm not saying they're doing the right thing. What I'm saying is this is something horrible that happened, and because this happened because it's a faceless corporation that does not care. It is going to do. It's like a virus. It is going to do everything it can to survive and thrive. And if that means cutting 2,000 people, so be it.
Not so fast, fucker. I found out what happened.
What you're saying is we should blame Proto Man.
No.
We should blame Proto Man. Found it. I found out what happened.
Do it. Do tell.
Their new CEO is a former Xbox employee who was saying that Dungeons and Dragons was like critically undermonetized. So apparently Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering, which is hosted by Wizards of the Coast, a subsidiary of Hasbro, were two of the biggest losses for the company for the past fiscal year or two.
The big Watsy fuck ups at the beginning.
Overprinted playing cards so much to the point that they actually were caught. They have actually dumped product into landfills. There was a report that over 500,000 printed Magic cards, estimated to be about $50 million in product, was dumped into the local dumps because they had no way of selling them after their backlash or their big old Magic the Gathering 40th anniversary celebration. So a few months back, you remember we talked about this, Wizards of the Coast decided it was time to celebrate Magic the Gathering for its big old anniversary bash by selling packets of Magic cards that were 1,000 a pop. And these were non-standard, non-playable Magic cards. It caused a huge problem because they were really hoping these sales would lead into bigger portions of future sets being released. That did not happen. So they had to dump stock on their Magic cards.
Okay, so
$50 million worth of product. That was the first one. Then it was Dungeons and Dragons' turn, which they tried to Dragons, which meant if you had made anything Dungeons and Dragons related, you were from stopping them from making money off of Dungeons, now going to owe Hasbro cash. So apparently, according to this, Wizards of the Coast, the Dungeons and Dragons subsidiary is also underperforming, according to Hasbro. It was not. It was doing just swell. And what they decided to do after this fiasco was start trying to migrate everything online with E1, which is a Dungeons and Dragons online exclusive. Like you get all from one website run by Hasbro, which is a subscription model. And it cost them $1.1 billion in sales. So fuck that up royally. And then they decided to take their publishing arm for their rule books, their core books that do all the things that Dungeons and Dragons nerds need to make a profit. It's like, hey, new rules, new monsters, all that shit, right? No longer will it be published by Penguin Books. It will now be published exclusively by Wizards of the Coast. So $1.1 billion divided up apparently between 3 different business transactions to phase out physical media for Dungeons and Dragons and take it all online. Over $1 billion was lost in profit.
Okay, so I do want to address. I can't speak to that last part, but you said about like the $50 million worth of what was it, Magic the Gathering cards? Yeah. So I'm going to teach you a little finance trick. Okay. There's the cost of what it was to produce those Magic the Gathering cards. And if they threw those out, they could take that off their taxes as a financial loss. Or, hear me out on this, they could also twist it around and go, well, we had to get rid of all these cards. This is how much we would have made on these cards. So even though they're saying they're taking a $50 million loss, that's how much I'm willing to bet, because that's the smart move. They are deducting that $50 million from their taxes, whereas it may have only cost them $60,000 or $70,000 to print up, design, and make those cards, right? Probably more than that. Probably, I'm just throwing.
Oh, you're talking about business expense? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
absolutely. However, here's the problem. They have dumped cards for sets that they had not printed, so their taxes were stating. Because someone who found the dump of cards was like, hey, Hasbro, the fuck you doing with all these unreleased cards? And so Hasbro can't claim they were business expenses, because apparently in New Jersey, or wherever the fuck it is they were producing these were never made to be sold. These were cards they had made ready to be sold, right? But because they were coming from a future set that had never even seen the day of light yet, and I think this is the set that's out now called Ixion, which is a like beast theme one. They can't claim it because it was never evaluated at the price that they said it was going to be sold at.
All you have to do to get around that is go, these were intended for sale. Our market research showed that the sales were going to be a failure and hurt the possibility of the brand. We disposed of them as a financial maneuver. We would have ended up making $50 million. But
Scott, are you defending Big Magic?
I am not defending Big Magic. I'm just telling you. I am just telling you. There are ways around this shit. We do have the email that Hasbro sent to their employees. So here is the email. Team.
The email.
Holy shit! It's Chase.
Holy shit! A serial killer walks among us.
Yeah.
Team.
Shut the fuck up. Nobody needs to know about it.
Chase, what do you need, buddy? What do you need? Do you need $1? Do you want me to send you $1 on PayPal? I'll do it.
Nah, bro.
Oh, okay.
I just I show up like a random wild Pokemon encounter, honestly.
I know. Somebody throw a Pokeball at him.
This one's not even a shiny. Into the fucking box he goes.
Yeah, you fucking rat.
I'm a mythical.
Just throw a trash can over top of him.
I just giving with the code.
Best we can hope is that he evolves into Dahmer Chew.
Oh no. I won't go that far.
So the email reads as follows. Team, a year ago we laid out our strategy to focus on building fewer, bigger, better brands and began the process of transforming Hasbro. Since then, we've had some important wins like retooling our supply chain, improving our inventory position, lowering costs, and reinvesting over $200 million back into the business while growing shares across many of our categories. But the market headwinds we anticipated had proven to be stronger and more persistent than planned. While we're confident in the future of Hasbro, the current environment demands that we do more, even if these choices are some of the hardest we have to make. Today we are announcing additional headcount reductions as part of our previously communicated strategic transformation, affecting approximately 1,100 colleagues globally, in addition to the roughly 800 reductions already taken. Our leadership team came to this difficult decision after much deliberation. We recognize this is heavy news that affects the livelihoods of our friends and colleagues. Our focus is communicating with each of you transparently and supporting you through this period of change. I want to start by addressing why we are doing this now and what's next. We entered 2023 expecting a year of change, including significant updates to our leadership team, structure, and scope of operations. We anticipated the first 3 quarters to be challenging, particularly in toys, where the market is coming off historic pandemic-driven highs. While we have made some important progress across our organization, the headwinds we saw through the first 9 months of the year have continued into holiday and are likely to persist into 2024. To position Hasbro for growth, we must make first sure our foundation is solid and profitable. To do that, We need to make sure that everybody's in the basement for the tornado. And to do that, we need to modernize our organization and get even leaner. While we see workforce reductions as a last resort, given the state of our business, it's a lever we must pull to keep Hasbro healthy. While we're making changes across the entire organization, some functional areas will be affected more than others. Many of those whose roles are affected will have been or will be informed in the next 24 hours, although the timings will vary by country, in line with local rules and subject to employee consultations where required. This includes team members who have raised their hands to step down from their roles at the end of the year as part of our voluntary early retirement program in the U.S. We're immensely grateful to these colleagues for their many years of dedication, and we wish them all the best. The majority of notifications will happen over the next 6 months, with the balance occurring over the next year as we tackle remaining work and our organization model. This includes standardizing processes within finance, HR, IT, and consumer care as part of our global business enablement project, but it also means doing more work across the entire business to minimize management layers and create a nimbler organization. I know this news is especially difficult during the holiday season. We value each of our team members. They aren't just employees, they're friends and colleagues. We decided to communicate now so people have time to plan and process the changes. For those employees affected, we are offering comprehensive packages, including job placement support, to assist in their transition. We've also done what we can to minimize the scale of impact, like launching the VRP and exploring options to reduce our global real estate footprint. On that note, our Providence, Rhode Island office is currently not being used to its full capacity, and we've decided to exit the space at the end of the lease term in January 2025. Over the next year, we'll welcome teams from our Providence office to our headquarters down the road in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. It's an opportunity to reshape how we work and ensure our workspace is vibrant and productive while reflecting our more flexible in-person cadence since the pandemic. As Gina often says, cost-cutting is not a strategy. We know this, and that's why we'll continue to grow and invest in several areas in 2024. As we uncover more cost savings, we'll invest in new systems, insights, and analytics, product development, and digital, all while strengthening our leading franchises and ensuring our brands have the essential marketing they need to thrive well into the future. We'll also tap into unlocked potential across our business, like our new supply chain efficiency, our direct-to-consumer capabilities, and key partnerships to maximize licensing opportunities, scale entertainment, and free up our own content dollars to drive new brand development. I know there's no sugarcoating how hard this is, particularly for the employees directly affected. We're grateful to them for their contributions, and we wish them all the best. In the coming weeks, let's support each other and lean in to drive through these necessary changes so we can return our business to growth and carry out Hasbro's mission. Thanks, Chris. It sucks.
Take a pay cut, you fucking vampire.
That's what I'm saying.
Of Peter Griffin. Oh my God, who cares? It is corporate speak. Guess what? They were going to cut those jobs anyway. They were going to fucking do that regardless.
Yeah.
Fucking
And
leeches.
In a very huge way, I agree with Walter. If he wanted to be a hero, he would have taken a pay cut. What is Chris Cox?
When the sales of the Wii U did not match projections, Satoru Iwata of Nintendo cut his own executive pay by 50 goddamn % so that Nintendo wouldn't have to fire a single person.
See, that's how it should be done. That's legit.
It's the executive decisions that are fucking up the business. The executives should feel the fucking consequences.
Exactly.
Let's see here.
Made that line in time.
Good job, Chase.
Do you think if the company, if corporations, like you were saying earlier, like there isn't an emperor of Hasbro. Well, what if corporations actually did function like an imperial?
It would be so much worse.
Would it be worse, or
would
would they or would the emperor just like command people to?
It would be worse.
It
would
would be
basically be Elon Musk.
It would be
Every
Yes.
company would have an Elon Musk.
Walter once again hitting the nail on the head. He is exactly right. It would start off as a benevolent, a very good thing. It would, because here's the thing: the best government in the world, the very best government in the world, is a benevolent emperor. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. Because an emperor will go build that bridge, and then the bridge gets built. The bridge gets built. There's no deliberation back and forth. Make this hospital. No deliberation back and forth. It gets done. The problem is that power goes to your head, just the same way it did to Elon Musk. And now he can't be stopped. No one can tell him no. So unfortunately, like an emperorship in a company,
you to laugh at my memes.
yeah, an emperorship in a company, whenever it's first starting out, that's fantastic. That's great. You have one person telling 20 people what they need to do. Fantastic. But it doesn't work. Everybody has to answer to somebody. Otherwise, they get way too powerful and they get fucking corrupt.
They get god complexes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. They get fucking corrupt. I
imagine the idea of like Elon Musk as the person saying, the God Emperor role, saying, I'm gonna, do this and do this for the good. But when you get to the point where he's corrupt, I imagine him very much so reading your fired letter while getting a full-on chest rub from a Thai girl.
Yeah.
Probably.
It's like, oh, can't find room for cuts.
The best kid on the planet.
Like, what are we gonna do, guys? Got to cut jobs. Can't. No. The Thai girls have to stay. They're the best part, of the job. It's making sure I do my job correctly. Can't very well get rid of them.
Let's head over to the comments here.
See, Warhammer 40K had the right idea here. You have your one supreme authority, and then you wire his undead ass into a golden throne, and then he can't talk to anybody and give orders anymore.
I don't think that's going to work for Hasbro. Wolf1701 says, no one loses the job until next year. They will announce them over the next 6 months. I'm just praying it's none of our current Transformers team. Yeah,
It's probably Power Rangers.
The Transformers team, they're just doing an amazing job. And they did something. They had like this cool little draft pick. It was B-Mac, Evan, and Mark on this draft pick. And it was interesting because, like Mark said, we're living in 2025. He had to be careful about who he was picking because his brain is already in 2025 making the toys for that year.
Yeah.
So
love that.
Yeah. Crossbones Koopa says, we all live inside Unicron. This reality that we know is a VR simulation. Our Moho gives Unicron powers to consume and add more to the collective and hooked into virtual reality. Okay. Wolf1701 says, a big part of this is Hasbro is forced to produce all the Disney products that no one bought, and its heavy hand in destroying the company. I would agree.
Is it? I thought Mattel has Disney's license for their movies right now.
Hasbro has Star Wars. That's Disney now. Hasbro has Marvel.
Hasbro has Star Wars and Marvel.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, I thought
and
when I think
none
Disney,
of and none of the Marvel or Star Wars
I don't
properties.
think that's on Hasbro. I think that's on Disney making.
I will argue too. If you look at the HasLabs, has there been any projects that went unfunded that weren't Disney?
Cookie Monster.
Sesame
Cookie
Street
Monster.
is Disney. Isn't Sesame Street Disney?
No, that's
not
HBO
really, no.
owns that.
The
Warner Brothers owns it.
Oh shit, that's Zaslav. Yeah, Sesame Street.
Zaslav.
Sesame Street, despite being part of the Jim Henson Company and made by him, was divested from the rest of the Jim Henson Company before Jim died, actually.
Yeah, it's Sesame Workshop or something like that. Right?
Okay. I see that. SW.
Yeah, when Hasbro bought the Jim Henson Workshop, they basically got the Muppets and Dark Crystal.
Okay, aside aside from Cookie
Yeah, I was
Monster,
gonna say, and Labyrinth.
aside from Cookie Monster, who I will believe to this day was a fucking sacrifice just to let people know that these are going to fail.
Oh,
you know?
absolutely fucking was.
Yeah.
Oh, like I've literally seen I've seen podcasts talk about that shit.
Yeah, I don't believe the Earth is flat, but I'll believe that Cookie Monster was put up there just to let people know these fuckers can fail.
Cookie Monster was an
absolutely.
inside job.
Cookie Monster was an
Yes.
inside
Monster
job.
was an inside job. God damn it.
Yeah,
That's
so
going on a T-shirt.
that's going on the fucking title, is what that is.
That's a good one. Cookie Monster was an inside. These are like the equivalent of the Reddit subreddit, like
Show
two brand new sentence. It was just like, what the fuck does this mean this week with these assholes?
Yeah. but
Yeah,
but I mean, what's failed? What's failed? The Rancor,
Ghost Rider.
the Ghost
Black Series
Rider.
Rancor, and that second sister lightsaber.
So, with the exception of Cookie Monster, who they don't even acknowledge as ever happening anymore, it's all been Disney stuff.
Yeah.
It's all been Disney stuff that failed. So I
As
can't.
far as Marvel stuff goes, I know the Sentinel funded, I know Galactus funded, and I know Giant Man funded, but Ghost Rider failed.
And I'll tell you what. Walking through Ollie's, I went through Ollie's about 3 weeks ago. I was fucking ankle deep in Rays.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. If there was one Ray on that wall, there was 50 Rays hanging there for like $2.99. And I'm telling you what, and this is not a large Ollie's. I live in freaking Johnstown, right? There was more Rays there than any other toy they had. Any
the
other
lightsaber?
toy. No. The Ray.
Oh.
Ray. What's
The
your
little Daisy
name?
Ridley toy.
Ray Skywalker.
Okay.
Which
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what
is
I
stupid.
mean. Was like Ray.
I would have
lightsaber.
said
Is that-
her name should have
yeah.
been Ray 2D2. But
That's a good one. But,
so,
That's interesting.
Gigatwin says, yeah, a lot of the stuff that isn't selling is the Disney toys, to my understanding. You can still buy mint in box Ray figures from The Force Awakens. Exactly what I'm talking about, Gigatwin. He goes on to say Hasbro lost a lot of money from Star Wars not selling until Mando bulldozed onto the scene. Crossbones Koopa says, what about Hasbro sending the Pinkertons after that guy? Because he bought cards he did not know were not meant to be out. Wolf1701, big magic. Gigatwin says the cards that guy got were sent to him as a review product, but one of the boxes sent to him wasn't meant to be sent, but the title was near identical to the stuff he was supposed to get. Technical Jim says, did someone get an Amber Alert? Chase always has that shit on a scanner, man, just to make sure. Gigatwin says, sounded like it. Wolf1701 says, Chase, stop taking the kids.
That wasn't. Oh, whoa! Hold on. First off, kids are not a target. Hell no.
They're a meal.
It's only prostitutes.
Yeah, but that was like
It's only
3 years ago.
It's only hookers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only hookers.
Yeah, kids are not a good target because you don't get enough skin off of them.
Yeah.
It's
Plus, that's
true.
just
You
creepy.
get maybe like a single string of a bolt of cloth off their tender hide, and then after that it's just like, now I gotta go slaughter a whole other kindergarten.
I'm surprised we still
That
have a
was that
connection.
dark.
Still surprised that we're on the air here.
Yeah.
Crossbones
well,
Koopa says, what about yellowing plastic? They know the factory is messing up. Hasbro knows and won't do nothing about it because it costs them money to move to a new one. So that yellowing plastic, remember, in the long term, they're not focusing on collectors. They're focusing on kids, and kids break toys, and their toys get dirty.
Yep.
And no 8-year-old knows that their white Jetfire has sun damage. They think that they got it dirty. Because whenever I was a kid, I thought I got my Jetfire dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they have one of those dads who are just like, take good care of your toys because this is how you're going to pay for your own college after I move out and move in with RC and Black Arachne in a harem house.
Listen, George,
Actually,
you get the hell
yellow
over here,
plastic-
George. George,
the
you
yellow
get the
plastic-
hell over here. You get the hell over here, George. And I swear to God, I'm going to take a photo of your Cyberverse RC next to a collar wheel. and we're going to check it in 3 months. And if those collars are not exactly the fucking same, I swear to God, I will give you the back of my hand, George. I don't care if you're 7. You're getting the back of my fucking hand, and I'm wearing the rings. Do you fucking want that? You fucking take care of your shit. I'm tired of it. I am tired of it, George. I'm tired of it. You should have been an abortion. Anyway, you were saying, Walter. I had a point to make. Go ahead, Walter.
God. The yellowing plastic thing's actually been addressed. It's just that the timetables on how things operate, it's going to take a while before we see the result of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because basically what was happening was the stuff that came out in 2022 that yellowed prematurely, that was all stuff that was in the production pipeline in 2020, in 2021, during the pandemic, when Hasbro couldn't communicate very well with the factories in Vietnam very well because of pandemic lockdowns. So they didn't know about, plastic mixes going wonky in the factories. And there weren't as many people in the factories doing QA testing at the time. So nobody caught on to this until it wound up in consumer hands. And what's causing the yellowing is there was an additive in the plastic that was making to make the plastic fire retardant.
Mustard.
And
Mustard.
That chemical was what was UV reactive and was making the white plastic turn yellow. That problem's been addressed. The plastic mixes have been altered, and you'll notice stuff that's come out in 2023 hasn't been going through the yellowing process like the stuff that
Scott, you okay?
Yeah, why?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay. What's up?
Hello?
Am I okay?
Hello?
Kyle, is something wrong with me? Am I having a stroke? Dude.
Do you smell burnt toast?
Were you watching me do this, dude? Because I was muted and trying to get myself off mic. I was coughing. So anyway,
He was indeed dying.
I was over here going. Anyway, Wolf 1701. Yeah. Wolf 1701 says Cookie Monster was an inside job. Crossbone Koopa says we all love a dirty Jetfire. Kyle Lewis says this fucking delay, man. And Gigatwin says, I don't know about that there. A God Emperor can directly contact people with his mind, but it tends to drive people mad. Also, the Imperium is run by a super oligarchy of the 12 most cutthroat people. God, is it under wonder we get so much vagina? I swear to God. Moving on to Looky What I Found. Xavier, buddy, do you have a Looky What I Found?
It's something we can all enjoy. The death battle for Galactus versus Unicron is starting to roll out slowly.
Ooh. I don't.
Yeah, they have a little biopsy for Galactus, and they just dropped the one for Unicron not 8 hours ago. So apparently the consensus is Unicron really just a force of nature? And then by the end of the video, they're like, actually, he's just Robot Satan. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
After the Megatron versus Frieza shit show, it's pretty obvious that there's an anti-Transformer bias in Death Battle. And with Marvel being the bigger, more popular property, Death Battle's become a fucking popularity contest at this point.
I totally agree with that it is a popularity contest, but also at the same time, how can you really compare anything Dragon Ball to anything else? The power creep's mad.
Yeah.
Well, One Punch Man really, took a swing at that and was pretty successful.
It's like
One Punch Man versus Super Saiyan,
any one of the Super Saiyan characters can trivially destroy a planet.
Yeah.
Well,
see, here's the thing though, is so far the 3 Transformer death battles, Optimus versus the RX-78, Megatron versus Frieza, and Starscream versus Rainbow Dash.
That's right.
Fucking hell.
All
3
of these are characters with alternity forms. And Death Battle has yet to even mention alternity.
But Optimus did win his against the RX-78 Gundam. I do remember that.
He did. But again, no mention of alternity at all.
Walter, since you've got your screen up here and I can't see anybody else's screen, do you obviously have a looky what I found?
Yes, I do. Archforce Archcore has revealed their latest transforming mecha, and it's freaking beautiful. It's a centaur mecha that turns into a motorcycle.
Ooh.
So it
Fucking
doesn't
one
look
up
like
there.
it's not quite as. Yeah. So fucking rope, fucking armored knight welded into a freaking horse mecha with a giant goddamn drill spear that turns into a motorcycle and just looks fucking gorgeous.
I love these guys.
You know that what is it? Lego actually did 2 Nexo Knight sets that were rather like this. They were it was like a mounted horse thing with a javelin or a lance that could turn into a vehicle. They did that like twice.
Yeah, but this is like real proper 40K ish stuff, and it's just like, God, the Ymir project they did for their transforming Optimus was amazing. Their 2 wolves with the proper nameage I can't think of right now. Awesome. Like the whole shebang is just like amazing because I
still need to get the trailer set for that to finish that.
Yeah, because they have a combiner now they've put out, and it's amazing.
They're Berserker. Yeah, because I've got Frostlight and I've got the 2 wolves. I just need to get that trailer set, but I don't think Big Bad or TF stores have it anymore. So
this guy here is equipped for a very, very specific problem. You just imagine, guys, if only we had a drill that could bust through a wall that's about 14 feet thick.
Yeah.
If only we had a drill that could do that.
And we need to get that drill into that wall very fast. So let's bolt it onto a motorcycle.
But we only need the hole to be 6 inches across. Thomas, do you have a looky what I found?
I don't.
Okay. Kyle, how about you, buddy? Looky what I found? Kyle?
Has anyone seen Kyle? He's about
Snake?
I feel so bad.
Snake?
I feel so bad for Kyle. I swear to God, that poor boy he just wants to say something. Okay. Chase, do you have a looky what I found?
Yes. I do not.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
You motherfucker. You knew you were coming on. You knew you were crashing.
I honestly, it was like a split decision. It was like either crash the podcast or see if the girl I've been talking to wants to talk. So
and we're clearly the second option.
I guess we'll move on to reinforcements from Cybertron. I got something here that Xavier and Thomas are going to want to see. Ta-da!
Oh, you did it.
I did.
That's not Deathsaurus.
I did it. It's definitely not. I need to check my Deathsaurus tracking. I'll do that on my phone here. But yeah, this turned out your changes. They work really well. The head now folds down in. The hips are good and smooth. Yeah, I do need to glue that groin in place. But yeah, everything worked great. Everything
works correctly, and there are holes. There should be ports that you can put pegs in if you want something to hold it.
Yeah, I got one off, one on. I got one peg in the side there, one free. But yeah, I'll get that packed up and shipped off to Xavier. My
God, it's beautiful. Hey, Thomas.
What?
Mazel tov. We're parents.
Yeah.
We created an arms micron.
You idea fucked. And the only other thing I got this week is
Bird gun.
Hey! I love that little thing,
which honestly you can make a pretty decent bird shield out of too.
That's like doesn't that look like a Persian Achaemenid themed gun or like a Zoroastrian gun?
Egyptian.
I can see it.
Egyptian.
What are you saying?
Egyptian.
He's just making
words.
None of these words are in the Bible, but I understand them.
Just making words. That's all. Xavier, do you have any reinforcements this week? Because I don't have a Deathsaurus.
I have a Deathsaurus, but you have my javelin launcher. You want to trade?
I mean, yeah, sure.
Okay.
You send me Deathsaurus, I'll send you Javelin and throw in fucking Velocitron Scourge for free if I get that
Actually, hold on.
Deathsaurus.
Let me get the more valuable thing first. That Javelin's pretty good. Don't you agree, Thomas?
Honestly, I could make a second version of it and add more articulation.
God
but it would have to
damn
be,
it,
it'd have
Thomas.
to be
I'm trying to
printed.
negotiate here, and you're punching holes in it.
I think it would have to be bigger though, because I don't think 3D printed parts would handle that.
Thomas is an awful straight man. Scott, why did you hire him?
He just sort of came on and
Collect
wouldn't
spores,
leave.
molds, and funguses.
Well, Thomas, buddy, do you have any reinforcements this week?
I got one. Well, yeah, I got one. I got Toy Colors Galvatron.
Ooh.
I mean, I've been looking at it and wanting it for like over a year, and
Which
just
is-
like been putting it off.
Which is weird, because I also picked up a Toy Colors Galvatron this week, but he doesn't count because I'm using him for a custom.
I stickered him up too.
Making
He's at-
Straxus, aren't you?
He looks great.
Yes, I am.
I actually really like the stickers. And did you know that thing actually has a rub sign on it?
Oh,
No.
The Toy Colors Galvatron, if you turn him into his cannon mode, it only appears on his cannon mode. It's like it's inside the robot mode.
Oh.
I'm
Yeah.
looking. I'm looking.
There's a rub sign. It's let's see, where is it? I can see it on the outs. Yeah, it shows up. It appears on the top of the cannon in cannon mode.
I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, I'll find it whenever I rip this apart. So.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, I see it. I see it.
Yeah,
I see it. Yeah, it's on his shoulder pylon, dude.
Yeah.
Now let's see if this works. It's yeah, there it is. Stupidest gimmick ever. Only that they didn't like knockoffs, so they actually put the rub sign on to combat knockoffs. Oh man, Walter, buddy, do you have any reinforcements this week? As if I have to ask.
Well, like you, I've also got a bird gun.
Ooh,
Bird gun.
I kind of want several
gun.
bird guns. I kind of want
One
several.
for each finger.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got medics.
Ooh, nice.
no.
How do I hold him? I got Code Red.
Right on.
I also got Thunder Machine Soundwave.
Ooh.
I'm waiting on him. I decided I'm going to wait on him, and apparently that cost 1,100 jobs at Hasbro.
He's pretty good, again, by the standards of G.I. Joe collabs, these being mostly G.I. Joe toys.
Yeah.
And then I've made it pretty obvious by, popping him in and out of the frame every now and then, but
Hey.
not my Space Chicken.
Nice.
Hey, Chico.
Nice. Well, Kyle, I know you've got something you want to show off today.
Fascinating.
He's communicating
Just-
via telepathy, like
just
a
hold-
space emperor.
Buddy, just hold it up to... Oh, I can hear you now. Just hold it
I
up
can
to the
see the
camera.
lag.
Oh,
My
my God.
camera completely.
Oh, it's pee poo,
Fucking
pee
goddamn
poo,
it.
pee poo, pee poo, pee poo.
Woo!
Boater,
Maybe-
boater, 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 boater.
Maybe the problem is it's not English compatible.
People.
Try Ukrainian.
Oh, look at that. God bless America.
God.
Giant.
Voter. That's how he will
Emperor.
stay for the rest of his life.
Oh my God. We're looking at Deathsaurus and you just said boater. That's not me. It's keep saying excellent connection on my end.
This is a shit show.
Anyway.
Yes, I can hear you guys just fine.
Yeah. Anyway, Chase, buddy, do you have any reinforcements this week?
Oh boy, do I do. I got in the mail today, haven't messed with them yet, the United Chase figure.
Wait, you got a toy of yourself?
No, Rescue
Oh,
Rescue Bot.
Yeah, it's the RoboCop cop.
The Deluxe
R.
United. Yeah.
Nice.
The Rescue Bot. Yeah.
Nice.
I've got Thundertron in as well. I've messed with him. I like him a lot. He's really fun. I like him more than the original.
Man, how are you getting this?
Amazon.
Damn
it. Amazon. You know,
Yeah,
work for
Amazon
one
gets
evil.
the United stuff in early.
Yeah, work for one evil corporation, buy shit from another.
It's kind of what I'm doing, man.
Yep.
Just giving all his money to Bezos.
Yep. He has to buy a new yacht. Yep. I also got like Magnus in as well. He's interesting to say the least.
She's got rock titties.
Yes.
And a waist snatched like a wallet in Detroit.
Shit. Yeah. Also, Studio Series Magnus. Finally, I ordered him in October, and I didn't get him until 2 days ago.
Wow.
2 or 3 days ago. Yeah,
Wow.
it was ridiculous. Yeah. But over the weekend, I traded in some older figures that, you know, they've got suitable replacements because Generations just keeps doing the,
Yeah.
the same 20 people. So I managed to pick up from my local collector shop Antagony.
Right on. Good figure.
And Frenzy, because he got both of them in, like on his new release shelf. I grabbed 2.
My Frenzy has a misprint. It says Rumble on mine.
Oh no.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That must be a collector's item.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I also grabbed 2 Holy Grails of mine, Cybertron Defense Red Alert, and because I don't know where mine went since I was a kid, the Armada Perceptor.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Studio Series Ratchet.
Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Let's get over to
Are
the comments.
they in the car with you right now?
I wish, bro.
Let's get over to the
No,
comments
they're
here. Crossbones Koopa says, we all love a dirty Jetfire. Crossbones Koopa says, okay, question. Why can't Hasbro buy it Harmony Gold and gets the rights to Robotech? Fuck you, Harmony Gold. Sorry. The main reason is they don't want Harmony Gold. There's nothing there for them. Yeah. Giga Twin says, I can compare any DBZ character to the cast of Saint Seiya, as the characters from Saint Seiya are insanely powerful. Kyle Lewis said, Death Battle was never good. Last one I watched was Goku versus Superman, round 2 in which Superman won by lobotomizing Goku, which Superman would never do. Kyle Lewis says, reinforcements, Peepo, Boder, and Dezaris. Dwayne Marsh, I got Trash Master, but he feels incomplete. Trash Master's a big brick boy. I like him. Crossbones Koopa said, I am going to drop money down for the holy grail of mine, Transformers Generation Hotspot, the standalone figure. I have a few holy grail items I want. Yeah, Generations Hotspot. If you're talking Combiner Wars Hotspot, man, just go for the KO. The KO is fantastic and cheap as all sin on AliExpress. You can get a full Defensor on AliExpress for $35.
It might be the Inferno. Yeah, it might be the Inferno redeco they're talking about.
Maybe
that blue one. Yeah.
Let's see here. Giga Twin says, I realized Death Battle was super biased on their results in their Gears versus Toph battle. Granted, the best death battle ever was Chuck Norris versus Sageda Sanshiro. DeWaz Perez says, birds aren't real. Giga Twin, why don't I have this yet? Talking about Death Saurus. Wolf 1701, Kyle is stuck in a space-time warp. And Giga Twin says, Tom Arm, Canada's secret weapon, the chicken cannon. Yes, the chicken cannon.
All right. I will say, because I have been dipping into it too much, I didn't want to go to crappy off-brands, but because no one is happy with the Death Battle one, Scott,
Yes.
I present to you a finding on the very first search of crappy off-brands.
All right. Sharing the screen. And boop. That's my wife. I love her. Trying to find the right one. And Facebook. And here we go. And yard transformers. Transforming his yards from blah to beautiful. Well. That's the thing.
It's Gardemus Prime.
Gardenimus Prime. Gardenimus Prime.
Gardenimus Prime.
Oh my God, gentlemen, do we have any plans for this week?
I think I am going to finger fuck my Deathsaurus.
I'm trying to figure out what I should get for I don't have very much money left, but I'm trying to figure out what presents I should get for which people.
I'm
Christmas shopping.
Pretty much I just need to get for Ariana, and I already got her present. So that's the only person I'm getting for. Everybody else just makes my life horrible. But Ariana's great. I mean, you guys.
You're welcome.
You guys are okay, I guess. Oh my God. I think that's where we're going to end it, with me insulting everybody else in the world except for my wife. Thank you so much for joining us here on Good Morning Cybertron. For some reason, I've lost the editing folder. Let me open that up. Editing stuff. Wolf1701 just says, I do my best. Gentlemen, thank you all for being here. Say good night.
Night.
Good night.
Damn it. It's catching. I'm trying not to, man.
Happy Chinooka.
Praise be to Papa Nurgle. Plagues for everybody.